Hello. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hello, good evening everyone. Am I audible? Is the audio and video clear? Can someone please answer in the chat? Is the audio and video clear? Yes, okay. So, welcome to our patterns practice session. I won't say class, it is just a free session where we will discuss with each other and draw some patterns also by doing that. So, you all can ask me any questions about any mandalas that you have, about any art supplies, or it can be any kind of question related to art that you can ask. And also, side by side, we are going to draw and learn some patterns. So I'll be using this A4 size sheet and I'll be drawing using a marker, but you have to use your fine liners. Okay, I'm using marker so that it is clearly visible to everyone. Okay, so let's start by drawing a pyramid first. So you can draw it as big as 5 centimeters. So we are doing some basic figures warm up first. Then we will draw a regular petal. Then pointed petal. So these are some regular shapes that you will find in pen mandalas. Then there is this double pointed shape. Now as you can, you would have already noticed, I am doing my patterns in one single stroke, right? For example, when I'm doing this pattern here, I'm doing one side in one stroke. I'm not stopping anywhere in between. Same goes for the other side. Then for this petal here, I've drawn it in one go completely, right? So whenever you are drawing figures, you do not have to stop in between, right? You have to continue your stroke so that there are no disruptions in between and the entire line work is very clean and neat. Same goes for all of these shapes. Now these might look very basic to you, but I can see I have noticed mistakes which are very common everywhere. So we will sort those mistakes today, okay? So when we draw this pattern here, the pyramid, many times I have noticed that these are off center. है ना? What people do is one curve is too big and the other is too small. So it goes away from the center of our grid line. है ना? So for that, both of these curves should be equal in length and equal in the curvature, okay? So that it goes well and the symmetry is maintained, right? So the curvature should be equal on both the ends. So what you will do is now is we have this shape here. You will give it a border. Okay, give it a nice border. Now even adding border is tricky. It is not as easy as it looks. When you add a border, you can see this white space in between. Just a second, please. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Don't worry about it. This empty space here, right? This space should be uniform from starting to the end. Okay, this space should be uniform, and by uniform what I mean is the gap should be equal all across the border. Okay, on both the sides, then only your borders are correctly done. Okay, a border cannot be of different lengths at different positions. See, for example, I'm doing this border here. Now you can see the difference. It immediately hits you off, right? It doesn't look good at all. So maintaining that correct distance is very important in borders. So be it any figure, be it the petal, the pointed ones, or the double pointed, be it any kind of shape, maintaining the correct gap is important. So next what you will do is give a border inside all of these shapes one by one. It will get difficult for this shape here as there are two V shapes, right? So whenever we draw any mandalas, the basic process is the same, right? First we draw the outlines, then we add a border if required, and then we add the details, correct? So I want everyone to answer in which of the shapes you find it difficult to master, like which shape is difficult for you to draw. Please type, and I will tell you a method to draw it. It can be any shape, it can be spirals. Many people have a problem with spirals also. Sometimes it's not uniform while we draw third pattern. Yes. So you mean the pointed petal, right? Yes, it can get difficult. Yes, I know. Okay. So many of you have problem with this third one, right? Okay. So when you draw this pattern, do the right hand side section first. Okay. Start with the top and draw an S shape, elongated S shape. Okay, do not imagine that you are drawing a big shape or anything. You just have to draw a elongated version of S shape. Okay, then you have to keep the same levels in mind, same levels. Now you see at this position we are adding a curve, right? So on the other hand also, the curve should be of the same measurements. Okay, so in your mind you are going to calculate that and continue drawing the shape. Okay, I'll draw it once again without the outlines, without the marks. You start with the right hand side shape first, then you will now don't start immediately drawing the other part. Notice where you are adding the curves and how deep the curves are. Okay, notice that, and you will replicate the same on the other side. Okay, draw the one side first, then the other side. Okay, now those who all have a problem, those who have difficulty drawing this pattern, I want all of you to draw it 5 times right now, and draw this free hand so that you have practice. If you will be good at drawing free hand, then drawing using a grid will be a lot easier, right? Can we get this video for a practice? Yes, I yes, I think I will keep the video on YouTube as it is. You can use the same link to access it later on also. After drawing the shape 5 times, what you are going to do is draw the borders also. Give it a border also, and it should be uniform. When you draw the border, your hand should be drawing it, but your mind, your attention should be towards the outline. You have to see the outline and follow the line that you are drawing. Okay, so that you have equal amount of gap throughout the borders. Done. Okay, now got it. Thank you. Yes, okay, welcome. Nice to hear that. Now, some people also have problem with the first figure here that I have done. Right? They get the off center many times, and one curve is too big and one is too small. So for that, another method to do is, first you draw the one side using from bottom to top, right? Draw the one side, and then what you can do is rotate the page or board or whatever surface it is completely, and repeat the motion again. Okay, that way you have exact equal sized curves. Now you see what the problem here is. Our hand is used to drawing bottom to top, है ना? We can do bottom to top very easily, but doing top to bottom is difficult, correct? Many people find it difficult to draw top to bottom, right? So for this figure, what we can do is repeat the same motion, right? Top, bottom to top. See, I'm doing bottom to top like this. Okay, then again I want to do bottom to top for the other side. So for that, I will rotate the page upside down, and again what I'm doing is I'm just doing bottom to top again, correct? And my shape is uniform and the curves are equal on both the ends, right? So that way you can do the longer petals. I hope I am making concepts easier for everyone. Are you finding it easy to follow? Please answer, guys. Yes, okay. Now coming to the double point shape, this one is also not that easy as it looks. Again, bottom to top is easy, but top to bottom is difficult, right? So again, you repeat the same process, you rotate your page, and then you can continue adding the next part of it. So you have very nice shape equal on both the sides. But most of the time you are going to have grid lines also, right? So they also support you to get symmetrical shapes. Now we will see different types of borders also. So first we will draw the pyramid shape again. Okay, draw the pyramid 2 times. Now we will add a regular border inside the first one. And yes, don't move your hand very fast. Move it very slow. Okay, we don't need to rush the borders or any part of our mandalas. Take your time and move your hand very slowly to get the correct shapes. Now this is a regular border, right? The other kind of border is we start at the top, है ना? We start at this joint, and as we go down, it keeps getting thick. Like this. This is also another kind of border which looks good. So this kind of border will look better in your last 2 or 3 circles of mandala. Okay, if you are doing a big mandala, then in last few circles this kind of border will look nice. Otherwise, if you are doing smaller shapes, then go with regular ones. Now you can also do this same border in our pointed petal also. Okay, we have our pointed petal. Again, what you will do is start from the top at the same common point, and as you keep going down, the border will keep getting thick. Okay. Now we will add some details inside these patterns. Second pattern we can't use. Yes, you can use second pattern, but in your last 2 to 3 circles of mandala, है ना? For example, this is how big your mandala is. Then in your last 2 or 3 layers of mandalas, this kind of border will look good. Okay. In between also you can use it, but it might not appear that well. In between, in the middle portion, you can use regular borders. Okay, yes. Now see, we have a point here, right? We have a V shape here. So we need to insert another design here which fits well in the shape and like give it more beauty, right? So what we'll do is we can add a teardrop shape inside here, right? Which fits inside the angle here, correct? So we will not start at the top directly, otherwise the line will get very thick. So we will start at a little lower point and we will continue drawing our teardrop shape. Okay. Otherwise, you can also do a double point shape here all the way from top to bottom, right? It also has a sharp angle at the top. Now at the bottom, what you can do is two spirals emerging from these corners, right? Or two big petals. You can do many things down here. So inside, what we will do is we will add one more small pyramid, sorry, one more small teardrop. In the bottom, I will add a petal. If you see, there is not much to do in this shape here, right? In this empty space. So what we generally do here is we can add a circle here. Yeah, and below is our grid line, for example. And we will darken all of the remaining empty spaces so that our details get highlighted and the unwanted blank white spaces go away. Now this thing you can do in your black and white pen mandalas. And otherwise, if you're doing color mandalas, you don't need to do this step. You can just add in color over there. Now you can see by darkening the unwanted spaces, our other details get highlighted nicely, right? Now inside these petals, you can do many things. You can add a circle here, and you can draw a straight line connecting it, or you can just add a circle and fill it up. You can make it dark, or you can add a simple spiral like this. So the what I mean to say is the current pattern that you are planning to draw should match with the previous ones, should match with the previous outlines and details that you have, so that they all fit in together and it looks like one pattern, It should not look like you have just put in any random shapes and made something. No, they should all flow into each other. There should be symmetry and it should look good overall. Now for this teardrop shape, what you can do is, now see here, this portion is dark here, right? Then there is this white border around it, and then inside we have our teardrop shape. So here what you can do is either darken the complete shape or add details inside. Okay, you cannot do anything in this white space around. Okay, otherwise it will mix up with the outline and it will not look good. So it is necessary to keep this white border around it nice and clean, and inside you can do whatever you wish. So here either you can add a big black dot on top of each other, three dots like this, three or four, or you can just fill it up completely, to make it simple. Inside this white dot, it might look just very simple and plain, so just add one more small black dot inside. Okay, so now I think here we should stop this pattern, right? We don't want to overdo it. We want white spaces also, and we want black spaces, but we don't want to overdo the patterns, right? So are you all enjoying the session? Is everyone enjoying? Please like the video if you are enjoying it so far. Drop a like on the video, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you for liking it. Now another thing, for the bigger pattern here, you can add one more small pyramid on the inside. Then in this space, in the outer one, what you can do is you can add a continuous layer of petals around it and make it a flower. And inside you can add dots or cross hatch lines. That pattern you can do, or you can add a completely different zentangle type pattern where you draw two horizontal lines, one small little curve, then two more horizontal lines, again a curve, then two vertical lines making a V, then a curve again. So it is a band like pattern that you can do. Then you can fill this up, fill the V shape. So whenever you're doing a mandalas, I know you do not plan your mandalas, right? And nobody does that. Nobody plans any patterns or anything. But what you can do is, as you keep, so for example, this is my main page here, right? This is my main mandala that I'm doing. Keep a rough page nearby. Draw a grid here also, the same grid that you are drawing here. Add, for example, this is my mandala here. So I am adding this pattern here, for example, correct? So I will finish this pattern entirely on my main mandalas, okay? And I will do only one or two sections of the mandala here. Next, what I will do is, for example, I don't have any idea what pattern I should add next, okay? So I will experiment with patterns on my rough sheet first and check which one looks good. You can do experiments on the rough paper, okay, and then you can check which one suits well with the previous patterns, and you can adjust the amount of details also here. And then when you finalize one, then draw it on the main mandala here, okay? That you can do as a beginner to get your mandalas looking professional already. So what I mean to say is, experiment and create your own patterns on your rough papers first, and once you like the pattern, once you think it is going well with the theme of your mandala overall, then you can put it in your main ones, because if you by chance you make any pattern here that you don't like, then you also lose the mood to continue it, right? We lose the mood, we don't feel like I should not continue this anymore, it doesn't look good at all, right? So it is a waste, or a lot of waste of your time, right? So always practice your patterns on your rough papers and then on the final ones. Okay. Thank you everyone. I this is going away from what I actually planned. I planned to do some patterns, but I am flowing away somewhere else. Now see, I am doing this pattern here. My border is white, it is light. The second pattern here is also light. So in the center, I will add a dark pattern so that the contrast is balanced and the entire pattern looks nice. Okay. So you have to balance the amount of whiteness and darkness in the pattern overall. Okay. And not just patterns, also in your layers of mandala. This is the center, you go away. For example, my this layer here is very dark. Okay, I have done some really dark patterns in this layer. So in your next layer, the patterns should be very light. Okay, the details should be very less in here. Okay, then next layer will be dark again with dark patterns. Okay, that way each and every layer of your mandala will show up well. Okay, otherwise if you do all dark, and if you do all dark, then none of the pattern will show up well. So alternate, make it alternate, light dark, and each layer will be clearly visible. Now for this figure here, what I can do is give it a border and fill the inside portion, or I can also do a cross hatch pattern or a mesh pattern, which is a collection of horizontal and vertical lines or slant lines in other directions. Okay, I can say it is very dense compared to our border. To enhance it even more, what you can do is fill up the alternate squares. That way you have it more dark, but also not making it entirely dark. You also maintain the white space. See, like that you have a nice checks pattern. Another thing that you can do with such borders is, if it is in your last circle, I'll show it on the other diagram. If you have drawn this figure in your last circle of the mandala, only at that time you can add details inside the border. Okay, and with details what you can do is add simple horizontal lines in the border, or what you can do is you can do this pattern also here, the band pattern, or you can add circles inside, dark circles sorry not the eye wale dark circles. Okay, so you can add any simple patterns, but keep it simple. Since it is a border, keep it simple. But such kind of patterns also you can add inside a border only if it is your last circle. If you do it in between, I will also show an example. This is my mandala here, for example. Okay, this is my previous layer of patterns. If I do this in between the mandala somewhere, it is going to get mixed up with our bottom patterns also and top patterns also, and that time this border will not look good at all. and it will be difficult to create the next layer of patterns also. You will have to keep white space around this border, है ना? So that is why never do details inside a border anywhere in between, only in the last circle. I hope everyone is taking notes also of this. Okay. Now we will add details to this pattern here, which is our pointed petal, or I call it pointed petal. Some also call it lotus petal. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. The shape is the same. Now here I can add a long teardrop, or I can add a double point shape. Or I can do something very different. I will add a small semicircle in the center. Okay. First give a baseline also. Then we will add long petals starting from the central one. Start the central one from the top, like you will include the corner also. Like this. Then you can continue adding more on the side. So for adding more petals on the side, just draw a small arc like this. And then continue it down with a semicircle. And when you do flowers like this, you have to continue till the end so that it looks nice, na? Even if it is half petal like this, continue till the end, don't leave it empty. Then of course we are going to darken the corners, but if you have enough space, now you see this space is pretty small, but if your space is big here, what you can do is add circles here. So we have to take advantage of all the space that we have, but without overdoing the patterns, है ना? Add circles in the corners and darken the remaining spaces. Inside the petal, what you can do is there are these long strands of spores in flower, right? You can do that also in these petals, or just a simple dot and line. This effect will not come good with a marker, but with a fine liner it will look good. I'll wait 2 minutes for everyone to finish drawing everything and then we will continue. Next, we are going to do spirals. Spirals are nightmare for some. So with spirals, the most common problem is one side you get it right, but the other side does not come as good as the previous ones. Okay, many people have this problem. So for this, there is no trick to do. Only trick is practice. You will have to practice both sides every now and then. So I want all of you to draw this heart-like shape. At a common point, you will start the spiral like this. Then other one will also start at the same point, and you will connect those two. Okay. So you will practice this shape daily if you want to master the spirals. Okay, the opposite side and the normal side, these two sides. You will practice this shape daily so that it comes out clean and nice. Now there are many ways you can use spirals. You can draw entire outlines, you can use it as details. So you can also add a big spiral like this and continue it down and close it to give a nice shape like this. So these kind of shapes are mostly used in ornate mandalas. Then you can also do a spiral and continue it down in a curve like this and join it. Okay, this shape also you can do in ornate mandalas again, or you can do if there is a very thin circle in your mandala, and if there is very like 1 centimeter circle, then you can add continuous layers of spirals which are opposite to each other as a detail. It looks really nice. And if you want to separate your mandala, for example, here you have completed half of the mandala and here you have the other half. So you can create a border like this in between to create a differentiation, and it will look really nice. Then you can also add very small dots in between the spaces to make it even more detailed. Then other thing is, if there is some weird space in your mandala where you have no idea what to do or what figure to add or what detail you can do. For example, it can be any, so many time it happens, right? When you're doing detail and a weird shape forms in between where you have no idea what to do, so there you can add these spirals. You can fill the entire space in spirals like these, and it will look good. They have to be connected to each other, and they have to fill each and every corner of the shape. So how many of you have a problem drawing spirals, or can you do it easily? In Mehndi design we used to follow these patterns. Yes, yes, these patterns are pretty common in many kinds of artworks. So how many of you have problems or difficulty drawing spirals? So to correct your spirals, you will take a regular sheet like this, regular ruled book, and with your fine liners or with your any pen, you will select any two lines, okay, two lines of space, and you will draw spirals continuously. So the base, the bottom line will be the starting point, and the second line will be the point where your spiral will take a turn, okay. So like that you will draw spirals, and this will be for your practice. You need to practice it daily, not just one side but other side also. This side also you will practice the same, okay. Starting at the bottom, it will touch the top line, and the curve of the spiral will touch the bottom line, okay. This way you will practice your spirals, and the complete spiral should be in one stroke. You cannot stop in between. Okay, can you all do this? Can everyone do this practice? So also, if you are noticed, my hand does not move when I'm drawing the patterns. And by that what I mean is, my entire hand is not moving. I'm only moving my wrist while drawing, while keeping the palm very firm and stable on the paper, okay? So I'm only moving my fingers. Most of the work is done by my fingers, and I'm moving the wrist only very little, okay? That way your figure will come out very clean, the lines will be straight, the curves will be properly round and not crooked. Sir, spiral heart shape is difficult. Yes, the heart shape can get difficult. So you will have to practice this step a few times, fill the entire paper in only spirals, and then you will join two of these. Otherwise you can draw a line in center, okay, draw a line in center, start from one point and make sure it touches the line. Okay, on the other side you will repeat the same. Okay, that way you get correct shape. So these lines are generally already present in our grid, right? So that will be more easier, but it is always better to practice freehand. If your freehand drawing will be good, then with the addition of grid it will be even better, right? This if you are thinking what this shape is here, it is from our next mandala from the sketchbook series. So this is a small hint here for tomorrow's video. So we have 5 or I think 7, yes, 7 minutes left. So everyone please ask all of your doubts, any doubts that you have, and I will answer them. It can be any question about stationery also, or about any art supplies, any colors, or any patterns, any kind of mandalas. It can be anything. Is pattern sheet available for practice? No, currently I do not have any pattern sheets available, but I think if since you have asked already, I would like to mention it. I am working on a patterns book, which will be a physical copy of the book, so it will be out very soon. So what did you say, that outer half? No, sir. I think you are asking about this border pattern here, right? So about this, what I meant is, for example, this is my mandala here, okay? When you finish half of the mandala, है ना, when you have added patterns in half of your mandala, you can do a border pattern around this, है ना, you can do a border pattern around this, and then you can do the other half of mandala, okay? That is what I meant. So in this thin area, in this thin border, you can add patterns like this to give a nice differentiation in bottom half and top half. Can we do pen mandala on MDF board? I tried but not able to do it. No, pen mandalas on MDF will be very difficult. Not difficult, it will be impossible, since it is a wooden surface and it is not white, right? First of all, it is not white, and even if you apply it primer or gesso and make it white, normal pens will not work over it. So what you will have to do is use acrylic paint markers, and that will work on any surface. So before buying, make sure those are all surface markers, so they are just acrylic paint in pens. So those pens will work on MDF board or even the mandala stones. Do you have your own practice sheets to practice? No, that is what I just said. I do not have currently practice sheets, but I am working on a mandala pattern book which will be out very soon. Okay, I think I have answered everyone's questions. If you have any later, you can ask me in the group anytime and I will answer as soon as I can. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending. I hope you all enjoyed. Was it fun? Is it fun for everyone? Okay, so thank you everyone for joining, and there will be sessions like these every weekend. So I hope to see you all there again. And yes, please do share whatever you have made in the group, or you can share it to me in the DM also. All right. Thank you all for joining. I'll end the session now. Oh, you were attending? I didn't even note that. You commented just now. Okay, thank you.